How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we gotta talk about the viral video of the Black Dallas restaurant owner scolding a group of black women for twerking in his establishment, which is called TRUE Kitchen Koctails. The race thing I mentioned is important. We'll get to that a little bit later in the video, but the restaurant in question is a sit-down type spot, tables and chairs. There is no dance floor. This is not a club or a dancery or a discotheque or anything of the sort. However, you had women in there standing on chairs, on couches, leaning up against the glass, twerking, just doing entirely too much. Now, the owner, a black man, again, we'll get to that in a minute, he politely asked him at least once, probably twice, to stop the twerking and standing on the glass and all that kind of stuff because it's dangerous. It could be a liability. And again, it's not a club or anything like that. It's a sit down type spot. But they ignored him at least once, probably twice. And then on the last time, on the final straw, he asked him to stop. He let him have it with both barrels. Now, before I go any further, let's roll the clip. In this clip, you'll see what he said to the ladies. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what he said. I'll talk about the reaction from Blue Check, Twitter, Mafia. They're triggered, they're butthurt, they're upset, they're all that good stuff. Then I'll give you my 2 cents, my deep, detailed analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a... Come on! Stop the music, please! Somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? Yeah. No, real talk. And so all this twerking and take it to Prime, take it to Pink, don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I want men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are twerking on glass here? If you want to do it, get the out my restaurant. Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. So don't do it now. Don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
All right, you saw that, you heard that. Now, I don't see anything the man said that was wrong. Not at all. Like I said from the beginning, he asked them nicely from the start to not do all that twerking and stuff because, number one, you leaning up against his glass window is dangerous. You could fall through the window, hurt yourself severely, and then now you could sue the restaurant for any kind of damages. Yeah, it's your fault. You were the one that were doing it. You shouldn't have been doing it. But since you're in the establishment, you could sue them. So now this man had put up at least a million, probably several $1,000,000 to open this fine establishment in downtown Dallas, really high rent area. This man has spent millions. You got inventory, staff, all this, that, and the third. And you want to come in there and destroy it and then make the man pay more out of his own pocket than he has to? For what? Why? So, yeah, he's going to ask you to stop. He'll be very polite. But then when you want to ignore him and tell you, I ain't doing nothing, give you the middle finger, basically, then what else is there to do? You can call the police. You can kick him out. You can cuss him out. You can do something, but you can't just let them do whatever they want to do in your establishment that you pay for. Okay, so the man was 1,000% correct. And for them to be on couches and tables and chairs twerking, it's like, why do you think that's okay to do? You're in a sit-down spot. This is not, you see no dance floor here. This is not a club or a discotheque or anything like that. You're not at a strip club. You're just at, you're not going to do that at Olive Garden or Ruth Chris or anywhere of the sort, as they were saying on Twitter. You're not going to do that there. Now, like I said, what the man said was right. The women, dead wrong. You can't be doing that. However, there is a lot that he could have done, the owner that is, to prevent all of this. Now, I got to tell you a little bit about me, my background. Before I was doing the whole YouTube thing, I was the club flyer guy. I had the responsibility to meet with the owners and the promoters and whatnot and make the flyers, all the marketing material. I was doing MySpace pages back in the day, animated gifts. Like, I was a marketing guy. And I still kind of do that even with my own channel, but that's a different story. I digress. My whole point is that I'm responsible for the club's marketing, for the promoter's marketing materials. And one thing that was common from all the clubs, restaurants, bars, lounges, whatever, that a lot of black folks would have, and we'll talk about that in a minute. They wanted to mitigate any kind of outside drama, okay? Because when you're dealing with black clubs, that's going to be a constant problem. You're going to have those that want to come in there and shoot up the place, the gang bangers, the hood rats. You don't want them in your establishment because you're going to have a lot of police involved. It'll be constant calls for a nuisance, especially if you live close to a residential area. That's the worst because you're going to have a lot of traffic in and out from those coming to the restaurant and the club, and it's late at night, 2 a.m. or whatever, and you don't want any kind of issues to happen anywhere near the establishment because they're going to blame you for that. Oh, you're bringing this drama to our neighborhood. You're bringing the drama to this area. Even if the thing does not happen in your restaurant, any kind of violent outburst, your club brought it because of the kind of clientele you attract. So that was always an issue to attract the right kind of people. They wanted all black clientele, but they wanted the right kind of black clientele. All right. So my job was to make sure that the flyers reflected that. What the man did, unfortunately, was his marketing, I think, wasn't really on point. First of all, you want to try to attract a black crowd. He's saying, well, I'm doing it for the culture. I'm doing it for the people. Well, what culture do we speak of? What are we talking about? You got this DJ in the front, real big boy, probably about 300 pounds, probably named DJ Bitman from 3rd Ward, you understand? And he's playing Throw That ASS in the Circle loud in the restaurant. So you can't have a sit-down establishment when you got that type of element because people that are hearing about the place or they just kind of in there, they thinking, okay, this is a spot. I can do whatever. I can just sit on the couches and bang on the window because you can do that in some black spots. Some hood spots, yeah, it's fine because some spots that I would deal with, they don't mind taking the risk of having the club get shot up. All right, it's fine because they're a hood spot. They right there in the ghetto. It's cool. They don't really mind the occasional shooting outside. They just kind of gambling with it. A lot of dope boys do that. They don't really think about the long term. They think about just kind of short term. So a lot of these clubs end up getting shut up within a year because they don't think about the long term effects. But I'm going down a rabbit hole. Anyway, you can't have DJ Big Man on the ones and twos right in front of the establishment playing Throw Down High Parts in the Circle and then expect to get all of the best people. You're going to attract some of the hood rats, some of the negative influence that you don't want. Some of you got girls on their couches, banging on the window. It's because they think they're at a spot where they can do that based upon the music and this whole marketing message of I'm doing it for the culture, blackity black black. In their mind, that's something else. However, the man asked them politely to not do that. He was like, look, okay, this ain't no spot. You can't just do whatever. And they ignored him. So he was right to let him have it, double barrel. But he has to understand in the future, you got to take steps to mitigate any kind of drama from entering your establishment to begin. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think the man was right to let the women have it the way he did? And that's your viewpoint. Let me know why in the comments below. Or was he wrong to do what he did? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. A lot of the blue check mafia on Twitter, they're upset talking about, oh, he's slut shaming and he's abusive and controlling all this, that, and the third. Nah, what he said was right. I mean, you can't just do whatever you want to do. And then, like I said, he asked them politely at least once, maybe twice, to not do that. And even the hood clubs have rules. No white tees, no hats, no sneakers, no this, no that. They talk about, oh, that's racist to have a dress code or a code of conduct. Nah, it's not about race because, I used to be down the beach dealing with some of the clubs down there doing their marketing stuff. And you would see people of all walks of life get turned away. You would see white guys coming back from work off the job site get turned away. It all depends on really what club it is, what kind of clientele they want. That's really it. It's not about a race thing. Okay, because like I was saying from the beginning, a lot of black clubs did not want the hood rat element in their establishment, but they're still all black. It's different levels to it. You're gonna have black folks that know how to act like the majority of those that were at TRUE Kitchen and Cocktails were. They knew how to act, but you're gonna have some that don't know how to act. And your job as a restaurateur, as a promoter, as whoever, the marketing guy, is to prevent them from coming. Period. And whatever you got to do to make sure that happens is what you got to do, because you don't want your restaurant to get shut down, liquor license revoked. You don't want it. But those that are, the blue checkers, they don't know anything about that. They don't know anything about running business and maintaining business. All they know is how to complain and engage in grievance culture on the internet. Nothing about real life at all. I've been out there in the trenches for years dealing with these spots, and they always have the same story. Okay. I done seen guys get shot, killed on the dance floor, all kind of stuff. And it all boils down to having the wrong crowd coming to your spot. When you invite the wrong crowd, you're going to bring this kind of behavior. I'm not saying he did that intentionally. The owner probably just wanted to do things for the black folks and, try to employ black people, trying to do the right thing, right? Rather than crying and complaining about no jobs and I can't get. It's like, okay, I got some money. I'm going to invest it into us, something for us, right? That's his whole mind state. But at the same time, some of quote unquote us are not ready for that, and you cannot allow them into your circle. So the blue check mafia crowd need to understand that. The owner himself, hopefully he understands that. He should understand it. For you to be a millionaire, you can't just be a complete moron. I wouldn't assume. So I think this should be kind of a learning experience for him, and it should be for those that are watching and that saw him give it to the women double barrel style. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.